Hello, everybody. We have joined us already. This year, what Teltonika Networks did is that we introduced four new 5G products, and now we have a total of, I think, six. Yeah, six 5G products, and we do not stop here because we know that 5G market will be growing, and this market will be growing exponentially. This graph that you see in this slide represents 5G module shipments, and you can see that if this year, in 2024, the shipments will reach probably 20 million modules, then in 3 years, it will be near to 90 million modules. But I got to admit that these numbers are a total sum of different 5G technologies, like RedCap technology. And the RedCap technology from next year, from 2025, will start to be used in various different applications. And in 2027, 5G RedCap module shipments uh, will account for a third of all 5G module shipments. So what exactly 5G RedCap is and in what applications it will be used? So some of you might already know that RedCap stands for reduced capability. But what does that mean? RedCap aims to fill the gap between 4G and 5G connectivity, where stability, network capacity, and low latency are more important than just speed. It is a good entry point between 4G and 5G network, where you want, let's say, benefits of 5G without paying the full price for the features that you will not use, such as ultra high speed or ultra high latency. As you already start to see, 5G RedCap is starting to get more and more attention from all sorts of customers. Even some of the operators are already speaking about 5G RedCap. Some of the base station manufacturers are speaking about that. But what, again, 5G RedCap is? How regular 5G compares to RedCap? What are the benefits of RedCap and where RedCap could be used instead of standard 5G connectivity? That is what I will try to cover in upcoming minutes. As you can see here in the provided illustration, RedCap fills the gap between high performance 5G and low performance 5G, as it was mentioned before in the last slides. But how it does compare to some of the already existing 4G and 5G? Is it faster or slower? Let us look together on the differences between these technologies. Here we can confirm that 5G RedCap sits in the middle between 4G and 5G technologies. In speed, RedCap wins against Cat1 and narrowband IoT, which are used for moderate data use cases such as, I don't know, smart meter monitoring, let's know. Also, these technologies are used in remote locations where it is hard to get mobile connection. RedCap technology fills this gap, bringing similar performance to the table with more internet speed for more intense system applications where customer might require remote access to the site or remote upgrades. Let's now look into so-called spider diagram. Uh, Here we will be able to see the comparison of different mobile technologies, both in 5G and 4G, and see what are the benefits and disadvantages of each one. First, we see EMBB, uh, so-called 5G, let's say, which provides high data rates, good reliability, and low latency, but has poor coverage, battery life, and is expensive to deploy. Next, we see ULLC, which main goal is to provide ultra low latency, which we see in this diagram. But we lose data rate, coverage, and it is very expensive to deploy, and it consumes a lot of power. Moving further, in 4G network, we have LTE-M, which usually supports uh, 4G category like LTE Cat M1, which is less expensive than 5G technologies. But it is only good for applications in remote location where signal could be weak and it consumes less power. But the data rates are very low and has a high latency, which could not be beneficial for mission critical applications. If we go even further, the last in 4G category, we have narrowband IoT technology, which excels in low power consumption. It is relatively cheap and reliable, but because it has almost no data rates and the latency is very high. And what about the RedCap? Now we see that RedCap 5G fits into already existing technologies such as narrowband IoT, LTE-M, eMBB, and URLLC, which also belongs to 5G network. We can see that RedCap fits in the middle, trying to adopt main things from different technologies, like having moderate data rates, having good latency, decent coverage, relatively low cost compared to 5G technology, obviously. So what are the benefits that it could bring to you, to businesses? Main benefits are that it is cheaper to deploy than regular 5G device. You still get moderate data speeds for day usage, with the ability to use some of the 5G technologies like low latency, and which are great in such applications like logistics, smart cities, where customers need to get data here and now without any wait time. On top of that, 5G RedCap will work better in crowded places where a lot of cellular devices might be encountered uh, by not providing the connectivity. From my experience in Kaunas, in my city Kaunas, in Lithuania, we have a shopping mall called Acropolis. Uh, and there we have one closed store, simple closed store. Uh, when you go inside of it, I lose 5G connection. With 4G, it didn't happen, but with 5G, I lose that. And RedCap technology quite solves that issue. So having in mind the benefits that 5G RedCap gives, what could be the use cases for that? Well, here you can see a topology that basically is speaking about the private network, but I would like also to announce that 5G RedCap will fit perfectly in such applications like CCTV monitoring, where remote control of the CCTV cameras are critical. Maybe in smart warehouses, where ability to get information from robots and sensors must be instantly received back to the servers. Also, industrial applications, like in this use case of private networks, RedCap usage provided to the customer the enhanced security and privacy, customizable configurations tailored to the specific operations that it needed. Also, it provided reliable low latency performance. And you know that RedCap in a private network could be a good substitute to, for example, Wi-Fi network, as it is easier to install and all can be controlled from the control center. So before heading directly to those new products that we introduce, I would like to sum up everything about the technology, the RedCap technology. So basically, it fills the gaps between 4G and 5G. It provides higher speeds than LTE Cat 4, but with better latency also. It works better in crowded places, and very important is that RedCap technology requires 5G standalone network support. It won't work on the non-standalone. So going further to the products, you might ask, how did we created these devices? And the answer is very simple. We took two products, RUT271 and 956, two of our best-selling products, and adapted them to meet our client needs. You know that we don't seek to uh, be innovators or so. Instead, we focus on evolution. So RT271 is equipped with 5G RedCap module, which I was speaking about, I think 10 minutes. Uh, it also supports LTE Cat 4. This device has a single SIM slot, two Ethernet ports, Wi-Fi 4 with hotspot functionality, and due to our operating system, RT271 supports multiple industrial protocols such as Modbus DMP3, OPC UA, and others. It does not end here. You can manage your whole fleet of the devices with our remote management system, RMS. Moving to RT976, the same story as with RT271. This device is more industrial and more robust due to its serial interfaces RS232 and 485, multiple inputs and outputs, and dual SIM support. This device can also be mounted in applications which requires tracking because RT976 supports GNSS. And you need to understand that with the creation of 5G RedCap professional products, we enter the unknown market. We usually wait to release devices until, well, the market is tested, learning from what works for others first. But this time, we chose a different path and became one of the first in the market to launch 5G RedCap industrial routers. So basically, this is what I wanted to tell you about our new two products with 5G RedCap technology. And now I'm sure that you will have questions.
Yeah, so thanks, Andrius. Hi, everybody. As always, happy to help and happy to participate in our webinars, at least in the Q&A part. So first of all, thanks everybody for joining in. We have obviously some help in the background to answer some of those in the written format, but I thought one question from Kai is pretty important to voice to everybody else. And Kai is inquiring, is 5G RedCap a specific function that has to be supported by the 5G core and the RAN? Or does it work with any 5G standalone capable system? So a clear and a technical answer to that would be that RedCap functionality really does require explicit support in both the 5G core and RAN for optimal performance. Without the support, RedCap devices may not be able to connect or will not benefit from the intended efficiencies of this reduced capability feature, and dedicated 5G RedCap equipment is required. Going further to some of the open questions, Sumit is inquiring slightly outside of the scope of our topic today, but nonetheless, he's asking, do we as Teltonika have dual active 5G router or a gateway for critical applications like banks and ATMs? Would you care to comment, Andrius?
Yeah, for sure. um, well, I would need to think about that. But you know what? I I would like Marius you to answer this.
Okay. So sometimes during these webinars, when you guys ask us about the things that are not public yet, but are close to being public, we give you hints. So Sumit, let it be a hint to you that today we don't have dual active 5G router, but keep your eyes open and your ears ready to hear some news in the upcoming couple of weeks, because we know that a lot of our partners, a lot of you guys are waiting for dual 5G device with both modems active at the same time, and we have some exciting news upcoming. Now, Panayotis is asking Andrius about surveillance cameras. Can these devices, these RedCap devices, be a working solution there, just in terms of the bandwidth?
Yeah, for sure they can, because let's say, for example, 4K camera. If I'm correct, maybe Marius, you will correct me if I'm wrong, but it uses up to 20 megabit per sec, something like this, right? As I remember. And the RedCap technology has the speeds up to 150 megabits.
Well, it all depends on the settings, obviously, and
Yeah.
not all 4K or 1080p cameras are created equal. But in essence, I fully agree with you, Andrius. And when I think of solutions that are going to be empowered by RedCap in the near future, for us and as well the users of our products, I think it's quite easy to weigh which solutions will work fine with this technology in the following manner. I see RedCap as a successor of LTE Cat 4. LTE Cat 4, this specific category of LTE technology, is very widely adopted. Rarely, before the 5G days especially, rarely customers would pay significantly more to get more speed from LTE Cat 12, Cat 16, etc. As a result, we see from our sales that majority of the pre-5G era devices that we would ship are LTE Cat 4. And in essence, like Andrius presented, the 5G RedCap offers a very similar throughput in comparison to LTE Cat 4. So it is a literal successor of this specific category, and we have thousands of devices powering CCTV solutions with LTE Cat 4 devices. Obviously, a lot of those solutions are moving as well towards what we call a normal, a standard 5G, and the definition of cameras is increasing. The demand for speeds are increasing. So yes, RedCap will be able to support part of CCTV solutions, which do not require more, let's say, than they require from current LTE Cat 4 devices. But once again, it's important to remember, would it be RedCap? Would it be LTE Cat 4? Would it be LTE Cat 20, right? It all depends on what is available in your concrete conditions where solution takes place. The technology does not define the speeds that you're going to get. Therefore, the device is not the only component to define the speeds that you're going to get. Your operator performance at a given time, considering congestion, considering availability, is the defining factor what you're going to get. So there is no clear rule to say what's going to work and what's going to lack in terms of speed. Now, moving on to other questions. Wolfgang Weidemann is inquiring. He's saying, there were two modem versions of RUT241. What is the situation with RUT271? Is it a Quectel module? Thank you very much.
The answer is yeah. It's a Quectel module.
It's a Quectel module, yes. We're starting with 271 RedCap version with just a single modem version, Quectel, and from what I know, is global. Of course, certifications is as always a thing, but the nature of the module is global. Frederick is inquiring, will there be eSIM versions of the RedCap router, like with the 241? Are we planning to support the SGP3.x eSIM standard? in the future, perhaps.
Yeah, so I will start to answering this question from the back, from the end. Talking about the standard SGP3 standard, uh, for our knowledge, it's not like fully finished standard, but we know what that our products, most of our products supports RMS, the remote management system, and basically the SGP22, I think, standard together with our RMS gives almost the same thing that SGP3 point X standard will provide. And talking about the eSIM, uh, I'm not sure if there will be an eSIM version of RedCap. Maybe you have information about this, Marius.
Yes. In essence, we recognize that eSIM is a strategic direction for our portfolio, and it's a question of time and a question of demand. Like Andrius said, it is not perhaps very common for us, for Teltonika, to be at the front of newer technologies. We like to usually take a back seat, look how they are getting developed, look how their component prices are acting up, look how the demand is looking from our partners. With RedCap, we wanted to do something a little bit differently and offer you devices as tools to capture business opportunities, to test this technology. So we're coming in an earlier stage of technology. So we want our partners, the end users of our devices who have interest in these products, take them, test them, and give us feedback as always. And for us to include an eSIM to these devices is going to be very, very simple. So don't worry about possible availability. We cannot guarantee with absolutely the first batch because we wanted to get the RedCap in your hands as soon as possible. But in time, if the market demands, it's going to be a very, very easy addition from our side. Looking at other questions. So let's voice some of the answered ones for other participants of our webinar.
I see that there are quite many questions about the eSIM. I believe that it is very interesting for our clients.
Yes, and guys, just a few few other statements about eSIM. This term is not new. You are not new in the market either, so you heard it many times. I think it is very important to define our eSIM direction, and because we feel like at the moment we offer significantly more with our eSIM available devices than perhaps other participants in the market. And as I said, we started with RUT271, in which the eSIM starts as a separate code. In time, it will simply become standard. And in the future, longer term future, we want to ship every cellular connectivity capable device with an eSIM chip inside. At the moment, yes, we are yet to start offering any bootstrap connectivity options. We're working on that. But at the moment, you are able to even take devices which are single SIM, like 241, and have virtually a dual SIM device with multiple profiles possible to embed into the eSIM chipset. We have the full support in our RUTOS software suite with multiple ways to actually upload those profiles and manage them. And with addition of RMS into the picture, eventually, like Andrew said, you're going to get the best of both worlds of SGP 22 compatibility wise, and the SGP3 from remote, let's say, management wise. So if you have any questions in terms of your specific situation, your specific opportunities with eSIMs, just don't hesitate and drop us a message. Our technical support is always super happy to get into your situation. So if you're working with Teltonika sales manager, drop them a message about that, and they will help you navigate. If you are perhaps a customer of one of our partners, they're also very keen on helping you out. So if you can't find some information, or if we are not able to comment exactly your specific topic, just engage with us, ask us. We are very, well, I know we are getting bigger and bigger year by year, but the mentality is still of a company that wants to have a very close connection with their partners. But getting into the questions, we still have some open. Frederick is asking for additional question. What would be the minimum order required for you to initiate production of eSIM version? Really not a lot. And I simply advise Frederick just to get in touch with either your distributor or with us directly if you are working with one of our sales managers, and you'll guys sort this out. It may not even be the size of the order. It might just be on the question of when is the next batch of production, and that's all.
Yeah, we have a question about the power consumption, a new one. The question sounds like this. Is the power consumption in these devices lower than devices such as RUT271, which is 4G LTE Cat4 device? Regarding 4G, they are similar for the power consumption, but if we compare to 5G, regular 5G devices like ours, I know RTX 50, then the power consumption will for sure be much lower with the RedCap devices. This is one of the features that RedCap technology brings to us.
Mm-hmm. Adding to what an anonymous attendee asked, how we are seeing when 5G carriers are going to start supporting RedCap, and the second part of the question is European carriers on different path than, for example, US or Asian carriers.
Yeah, so speaking about RedCap technology, we know that there are at least a few bigger operators in Europe which are already looking for such kind of devices for their proof of concept, let's say. They are already thinking about this technology, and for sure in the beginning of next year, the RedCap technology will be so-called live. I'm not sure about the US and Asian carriers, but I believe this will be the similar path.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Andrius. Just addressing questions as they come. I saw a question from Dario. What security protocols do RedCap router support? And I would simply like to comment this one is that in terms of product security, the product, let's say RUT271, the RedCap side itself does not have let's say as much input as in terms of security as much as the software of the product itself. I mean, would it be 241 or 271? Would it be LTE Cat4 device or 5G RedCap device? It still has the same RUTOS software, which is the main, let's say, tool and the main suite of software features and options that allow you to be as safe as possible using this product in the private or public networks. So from the router perspective, from the product perspective, I wouldn't say that there is any significant difference which, let's say, connection you are using. Would it be a 5G RedCap? Would it be LTE Cat 4? I'm sure there are, you know, nuances and technological topics regarding this on the network side. But well, we must be clear here. Me and Andrius, we're just not the right guys to get into that. We are a bit more often experts of our products rather than the network backhaul. Commenting from the product side, it's all, let's say, embedded in the software. Frederick is really eager on the 271, and he's coming back to you, Andrius. When do we expect to have the general availability of this product?
Yeah, so for my knowledge, basically the end of November is the time when 271 will be available to get, meaning in less than 2 weeks or 2 weeks.
Yes. So at first, like with all first batches of the products, we are limiting the amount of devices that each partner can purchase from us directly, simply to make sure that as many as possible of you are able to get their hands on and start testing and investigating. However, after that, the availability is going to be really good, as with all of the products. But just to be sure, as I said, if you are in contact with a distributor or our direct sales manager, just drop them a message that you'd like one, and the sooner you do that, the more sure you can be that you're going to get a device from this first batch. We are simply doing first batches a little bit smaller because there's a reason they're called first batches. We need to, although we have pretty good experience launching as many products as we do, we need to test every, let's say, step of production of a certain device, just to make sure that we deliver only what's best to you. Right. So we answered quite a lot of questions. Quite a lot of questions were answered by our colleagues helping in the background. So big thanks to them. If we missed a question, if we perhaps didn't voice it out loud and it was answered in the background, please have in mind that we post all of the questions in the same page on our website, on this webinar page, so you can always come back to them. And like I said, always excited to join Andrius and other colleagues on this. And one of you asking that question about dual 5G device really pulled our tongue, and we cannot be we don't have as good of poker faces as we'd like. So let's celebrate RedCap this week, and let's be curious for the upcoming weeks, because this is the season of anticipating yearly holidays, anticipating Christmas, and on that note, we might have some surprises too. So that would be from my side.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So thanks, Marius, for joining for the questions. I'm very happy, as always, to have you here. And thanks to everyone that participated and listened to us. Thanks, and have a wonderful day.
Bye-bye. Best of luck and business.